Meow. Got some seedlings just about ready to go. I've been reading about these little peat pellets that I've been growing them in, maybe not being the best thing to grow them in, like the pH level. Case in point, these mint plants should be like 3 or 4 inches tall by now, but they're not. Anyway, there's some more gourds and and my strawberries. They're finally starting to show themselves a little bit. Yay! And here's some more gourd plants about ready to be transplanted. And here's the structure. I put these 2x4s up to support that was kind of sagging, and got a couple more, and they overhang a little more on the backside, so it can act kind of like a trellis. And on this one, I got little seedlings popping up already out of there, and there's some more over there. And on this side, those are some of the focus habaneros. Meow. Then here is some catnip, and I put some bone meal in there. There is some pathetic stevia. And here, that's a big pumpkin plant that I transplanted. Looks like maybe it's having some transplant shock issues. And there is a gourd plant that I transplanted. There's another one that's not looking too well, but it's planted in the top of that pipe, which I haven't put anything else in. And there's another one that, well, the leaves say it's healthy. The stem looks kind of droopy, but there's another thing there. And let's check this guy out and see what's up with him. Okay, he just looks a little bit wilty, but I think he's doing okay. He just kind of curled up. It might actually have too much water. It rained last night, so this is all kind of wet. And here's these guys. That's like the first leaf there, and then he still feels a little droopy. And here's some of the plants that are growing out of there. Looking fairly healthy. There's some of the habanero plants. And this thing only wants to focus on what it wants to focus on. But yeah, there's another habanero. Meow. And there's a cat. Always have to have a cat running around somewhere. And we've had some lizards spotted around here, and I doubt we'll be able to catch them because they're pretty fast and they don't like to be interviewed. So I don't know if we'll catch any lizards. But anyway, I've got some dirt down there. I'm going to put another layer of dirt in there, just cause, and bring it up like 2 more inches, whatever that is, just to bring it up flat with the surface. And this is just regular old topsoil. I might kind of mix some compost in with it. And there's a cat licking his balls. Kitty. The hanging bucket of pepper plants seem to be doing okay. Don't see any peppers hanging on them just yet. But somebody told me they actually need bees or something to go pollinate them. And so I got to find a way to attract bees and more of the right kind of insects. And maybe not those insects or whatever those are. There's another angle of the hanging peppers. Now in some ways this one seems to be doing the best, but that could be because it's hanging up there where not as many insects can get to it, or something like that. Or maybe it's just up there where I can't spray so many fertilizers and things into it. Meow. This is the bone meal. I kind of scattered on top of the dirt, didn't really work it in, and I did that on advice of something I read on the internet. Meow. Here the weeds, like always, seem to be growing the best, but some of that's supposed to be stevia and mint, but it's not. It's just those crappy things. The rose seems to be doing okay, but who cares about a rose? And once again, there is some mint that's not doing that well at all. And here's these plants. They seem to be doing all right, except for the ones that have been eaten by little bugs. Perforated that. And I'm not really sure. There's some of the bone meal that I spread on there. But some of the rest of these seem to be doing kind of okay. And it rained last night, obviously, and that should work some of the bone meal in. There's a fly. These are the kind of flies that I see. And it looks like the bone meal actually attracted flies. Oh, great. How about that? There's a little bit of chemical burn there. Now, when I sprayed these, I mainly tried to spray down the roots with the Miracle Grow stuff, but still got some on the leaves, which I tried to kind of wash off a little bit, but apparently that didn't work. So I'm thinking about putting some mothballs down. Yeah, maybe that'll help keep rodents out. And there is Oswald playing dead. Yeah, he knows when he's being talked about. Meow. Meow. And here the other part between the garage. Now these have shown some growth, I think, since I started using the Miracle Grow. And it seems like on some of the newer leaves, I'm not really, well, I guess I am seeing them being eaten. And there's some of the bone meal I put down. And some of these are pretty big. Now, I read that these kind of wrinkles between the little veins on the leaves like that mean that what I read was that it's screaming for bone meal. And I forget, maybe the bone meal was mainly nitrogen or something, but I would think it was getting plenty of that from the Miracle Grow. Anyway, it's getting little leaves there, which or little flowers, I mean, on there, which is supposedly where the peppers are going to grow from. but I guess they need to be fertilizer inseminated. So I bought some flowers, put some flowers out, hoping that it would kind of invite some bees and butterflies and things to come along and impregnate my flowers, the peppers. Anyway, you can see that these are doing really pretty well in the pipe garden. These are mainly gourds, and I might have to rethink my ideas about whether these should go down or up, but luckily I can build or manufacture some sort of trellis going up if I need to. Because those gourds are going to be fairly heavy. And those are going on fairly nicely. I stuffed some more seeds in those holes, and we'll see if anything grows out of those. Now, one of my plants got fucked up by the storm. It wasn't tied off to that stick very well, but I think it might survive. This one's just tiny. It just never seems to get very big. I don't know, maybe, I think that might be a habanero, and maybe they're just not that big a plant. And there it is, supposedly still screaming for bone meal, but it's got some, or at least now it does. So anyway, there's these plants and those plants, and hopefully if you compare them to earlier videos, you can see some sort of growth to them, except these smaller plants. To me, they look healthier, but just not really that much bigger. But with my cheap $2 plant, with its pretty flower, meow, hopefully that will attract the right kind of insects. And I still got to figure out something for these other plants. Meow. And the other hanging topsy-turvy plant. Now, I thought these were supposed to droop down more, but they're still reaching for the sky, and I'm hoping that is chemical burn on some of these leaves. And I think maybe I'm getting a little too carried away with the chemicals, with the fertilizers. But otherwise, it seems to be fairly healthy. Nice and green anyway. Meow. Meow.